my biddies. How are you today? I am running behind. I haven't set up my reads yet. That's okay. We don't have a what you call it, reading roundup today. Everything's done except for Sister Wives, and we're just waiting for them to get their nonsense over. Plus, I'm gonna wait on that to start on that one until the 28th for reasons. um, yes, the personal private reasons. So hush. Oh, it's very sunny outside today, thank goodness. Also very cold. What's the temperature right now? 11 degrees. That's Fahrenheit, people. Which is way colder than 11 degrees Celsius. This is what I do before I come on most of the time. Most of the time I'm ahead of things. I don't know why this today I'm just okay, come on, stop it. Sometimes my mouse doesn't cooperate completely. Or my cursor anyway. I didn't do that. I don't want that. Isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Luckily, it's only the last three. I got to go through and make sure I got all of them. We found one that was removed. See what I do for you people? It really makes me mad about that one's there Sunday. So I checked them all on Sunday. It was removed by a moderator, so I don't even know why it was removed. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not chatty today, sorry. I did not sleep well this weekend at all. I was up for hours numerous nights. A little better last night, but I think I slept wrong. Sunday night, my back really hurts. And yes, I should take something for it, but I haven't yet. I'm just making sure nothing else was. Nope, something else was. What do I do? Yeah, you're going back to last month for that one. Okay. Yay. So, here's a good one. Have you all heard that Don Lemon is being um, charged, I guess, with it's so dumb, with violating the Ku Klux Klan Act. I don't know that many details. I haven't looked it up. But the Ku Klux Klan Act is because people were denying other white people were denying black people the right to vote and stuff like that. He was reporting. He wasn't they're calling him the ringleader of the protest he was reporting on. He wasn't a leader at all. He was just there to report. Somebody had told him about it that day that there was a protest at a certain church. So he went to the church and he went in and he talked to people. And now they're charging him with Ku Klux Klan Act violations. Like, and did you know that the Ku Klux Klan Act was in the 1800s? Like, it's been around a long time, like 150 years long. I'm a historian and I didn't even realize that. I knew it at one point because I've forgotten more than I more than I know. So yeah, this is where we're at, people. People are being um, charged for crimes for reporting on protests. I guess protests to be actual. Can't even protest. Yeah, you can. It's your legal right to protest, by the way. So you're not doing something stupid. You can protest. You have that right. These hairs, little short hairs up here. That's my hair growing back. My hair growing back in, I should say. I because I assume because I was so sick last year, my hair started falling out like really bad. Like really bad. That's why I didn't get a hair. Part of the reason I didn't get a haircut. So when they say that stress will make your hair fall out, they're not really kidding. I experienced that last year. Like, usually I have a brush, I share it with my husband. Usually like every 2, 3, maybe even a month, once a month, you clean off the hairs out of your brush. I was doing it like twice a week. It was bad. I'm telling you, it was bad. And now I have all these short hairs. But I'm gonna get a haircut in a couple months. Promise. I will get a haircut in a couple months. Um, I really don't like it long in the summer. It bothers me, and I don't like it short in the winter because my neck gets cold. I don't like my neck being cold. Hair is a very good insulator for your neck. Just saying. All right, shall we get into it? Oh, by the way, I noticed the other day, I think the number of times that this gets shown to other people in their like upcoming interest stuff like that is maybe correlated to how many hours it's been viewed because I have 50 hours, which I appreciate. Thank you very much. That's a lot. That's a lot for 7 people. It's a lot of time for 7 people. I appreciate it. Yeah, I only have 7 subscribers right now. Can we get the word out, please? Um, but I've been viewed 50 hours. So you guys are on it. Those who like me like me. Um, but I also noticed that when I got to 50 views, it went up to 50 people have been exposed to this. So keep watching, please, or listening or whatever you need to do. I realize that people are working and they can't always look, but you can listen. You can use it podcastily. Did I just make up a word, podcastily? Sure, I did. I make up words all the time. That's how the language evolves by using words in different forms. And most of the time that's good, but sometimes it ain't. All right. This is entitled People, and it says it's entitled I Was Going to Sit There. I should start that over, shouldn't I? This is from Entitled People, and it was entitled I Was Going to Sit There. Several days ago, we decided to stop for a pot of tea at a popular chain bookshop in southern England. It was 2 days after Christmas, so everyone was busy, which is insane. After Christmas, it should stop. I could tell she needed a rest as we walked a long way with a number of stairs involved. As we entered, I spotted a couple in a booth who looked like they were finishing up. Perfect. I quickly wove my way through the intervening table and we exchanged polite chit chat as they finished putting their coats on and they left. My mom was still working her way around the busy tables behind me. I just put my bags down on the seat when a woman appeared from the direction of the serving counter, snapped, I was going to sit there. Yeah, and I was going to park there. And now I can't because somebody else got it. So, too bad, too slow. I'm older and I have more insurance. Let me know if you get that reference. She had coffee in one hand and very affronted look on her face. I was confused to face such British aggression. I was clearly there first and had been there, with no indication that anyone else had claimed the table. She was there before the other people left and she talked to them. So you can't just show up and say you're going to sit there. Rude people. She glared at me, clearly expecting me to apologize, remove my bags, and vacate the booth. She must have seen the couple putting their coats on from where she was at the counter as well, but that means she must have also seen me arrive at the table and claim it. At this point, my mother appeared behind me. Now, if she hadn't been there, I might have felt the Christmas spirit and let the entitled woman take the table. But Mom needed to sit down. You know what I'd do? At least in theory. Invite her to sit down. You can join us. It's fine. Would you like to join us? This quiet, very British woman, me, is proud to say that I was able to stay. To say I was there first with no caveat, no sorry, or any form of apology. Good for you. I could see she had expected me to give up the entitled woman stood there for a long time glaring before huffing off to the other side of the coffee area. As she got there, a couple left their comfy chairs and she was able to sit straight away, and her friend joined her shortly afterward. I got my mom settled, joined the queue, and we had our pots of tea. Happily, Mom even had a cheeky ginger biscuit to dip that she'd saved from another cafe. The ginger biscuit means she had like a ginger snap or something. It's a cookie. In case you didn't know. Most people, I think, know that nowadays. People are weird. Indeed. And mean. Face file says her, I was going to sit there, me. Cool. Then it says, I was going to invest in IBM in 1952. Life is full of disappointments. Regular whereas, as somebody who had an arthritic hip replacement, Mom, who often needed to sit between shops, good for you for standing up for her. Wish people were a bit more thoughtful and respectful of folk that need a seat. It doesn't even matter. That doesn't even come into the equation. She was there first, way before that lady. Jimmy, where are ya? Says, I had a similar situation before Christmas. I took my elderly dad, my daughter, and my 16-year-old grandson to a Christmas fair in a village near town. We eventually went to the pub on High Street for some liquid refreshment and to use the loo. If you don't know what that is, just let me know. We found a table and I got drinks. The pub filled up and there were no tables available. I went to the bar and when I returned, there's a woman sitting next to my spot on the fixed seating. As I sat down, she informed me that someone was sitting there. I just looked at her and said, yes, me. End of conversation. Remarkable Bus says, if I'm by myself, then it's counter service. I won't claim a seat before getting my food and drink. If I'm with my elderly mom, damn right, I'm going to make sure she is seated before joining the queue. Yeah, exactly. Make sure mommy's sitting, kids. Next is called I Really Fixed the Football Jerseys. A few days after I, female, graduated from high school 10 plus years ago, I was helping my mom and her family in her family and consumer science classroom. She was a teacher for 30 plus years, and through my whole childhood, she was the teacher that was in her classroom until late at night, so she had so much to do all the time. That day, the football coach appeared at her door. They asked if she would fix the practice jerseys for the football team and bake him some cookies. Dude. Of course, my mom said yes to fixing the jerseys and laughed at the cookie request for the nth time, then passed the task to me. Mr. Coach was also a shop teacher, so I had taken his classes. This is back was when sewing was for girls, so we were treated terribly by the guys, and the teacher let it happen even when we had to take the shop class. I hate teachers like that. Can't stand them. He would say it when I was in his class, and my classmates would snicker. He would say this. Oh, wait, I missed a spot. Sorry. He would ask me when my mom would make him cookies. I mean, all the time. I heard this request 100 plus times. He would say it when I was in class. My classmates would snicker. He would say this when he saw me in the hall. I got so old. Oh, I think that was supposed to be, it got so old. He thought he was being funny all the time, but I had just graduated and decided it was time for some payback. I had a big box of his football practice jerseys that were nothing but shredded chunks of mesh. I fixed them all, and it took me more than a week. While I was at it, I sold all the heads shut. I folded them nicely and staked them all in the box and put the box on his desk. I asked later if Mr. Coach said anything about fixing the jerseys, and she said no. Years later, I asked her if he had ever asked her to fix his jerseys again. Also, no. I finally confessed to my mom what I did, and it was pretty obvious she had no idea. Thinking about it still makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And then she edits that she's not a bot. She just doesn't know what she's doing on Reddit because she's new. Coder Joe said, how did the football turtles do that year? And she says she didn't pay attention. Probably mediocre. Heron, Heron on fire again. I think that just messed up. I think it's supposed to be hard. It's Harin and then on fire again. Like it was probably supposed to say hair's on fire again, but it don't. I worked in the costume shop at the theater department in college, the only non-theater major and the only male employee. The pay was dismal, but it wasn't food service, and making patterns and sewing didn't suck. Mess with me back in the dorms, no problem. You leave your shirt unattended in the laundry room, and I'll steal it a couple of times right out of the washer. I'll dry them at work, make a couple of minor modifications, and then drop them back in the laundry room for you to find in a day or two. Hemming one pant leg 2 or 3 inches shorter than the other, taking in the waist, moving all the buttons down 1/4 of an inch, close off the buttonholes at the bottom of the shirt. I removed the shirt collar label and moved the buttons to the inside. Not my idea, but thank you, hot genius theater major girl. Rutsy guy pissed off my ex-girlfriend. She bought me his uniform and provided some motivation to move patches and his insignia around. That job was a blast. I think you made it a blast. Thespis says, apparently a very appropriate name. I have a theater degree with an emphasis on acting. We learned pretty quickly not to piss off the costume department. I've seen unfortunate souls found forgotten pins in places you don't want to see pins. Yeah, don't mess with the people who do favors for you. It's not a good look for you. Might be a good time for them though. Next we have AITAH, entitled AITAH for hiding the fact that my youngest son is biologically ours. That seems a bit odd, but okay. So me, 48, my wife, 46, both come from a culture where arranged marriages are common, and that's how we got together. We are arranged into our marriage. That sounds like a nightmare. I can't go into more details about I can go into more details about it if asked, but it's not super relevant to the post. We both wanted kids. However, my wife has a medical condition that made it very hard for her to get pregnant, and because of the arranged nature of our marriage, we didn't exactly feel too keen on repeatedly trying. So when we were financially stable and old enough, we adopted our first son. He was 3, now 26, and our daughter, now 22, a year later when she was a newborn. About 3 years later, my wife unexpectedly got pregnant after we drunkenly hooked up with each other, and that resulted in our youngest son, now 19. When my wife got pregnant with our youngest son, we purposely hid that from the families. We had for years pressured us to try fertility treatments to have a child that would truly belong to us, and we knew that if they found out our youngest was biologically theirs, they'd never treat our other children the same. Okay, nope. NTA. Adopted children should be treated just the same as anyone else. I have a adopted niece. Forget she's adopted sometimes. Um, and she happens to have a younger sister because they were having problems getting pregnant. One of the couple is getting a little old. um, so they decided to adopt. Um, there was no reason for them that anyone could figure out that they couldn't get pregnant other than maybe nerves. So as soon as they adopted, they got pregnant. It happens all the time. I know of another family that um, adopted, had 3 boys, wanted a girl so bad they adopted a girl. Immediately got pregnant and had another girl. And they are so close in age that um, they basically treated them like twins. And everybody knows that one of those kids is adopted, but most of the people can't even tell which one. They guess the wrong one. I know which one it is. One of the girls looks like one of the boys, and another girl looks like another one of the boys. And one of the boys doesn't really look like either of his brothers or his sisters, but he's not the one that's adopted. So you can't tell. And I mean, the kids knew they were adopted too. All of these kids did. But like you treat your adopted kid just like you treat your own kid. Just like ask when you invite someone into your home from a foreign country as a student, exchange student, you treat them like one of your kids. You don't make them buy their own food or treat them badly, like so many people seem to do, and it's so weird to me. So no, you're not the asshole. We hid our pregnancy and told our families we adopted another baby. Only a few friends and select members knew about the pregnancy. All of my children also know about this. My father, 69, was talking to me and my cousin, 47M, who knows about the pregnancy, about how he was always disappointed that I never gave him a proper grandchild. What a dick. And he was still holding out hope until last year when my wife turned 45. I told him he has 3 grandchildren, though, and he just grumbled about how it wasn't the same. It is the same. It's the same. If my kids adopt a kid, I am treating that kid the same way I treat my other grandchildren. This makes me want to cry, actually. It's so heartbreaking. My son, in private, says he thinks it's a bit of an asshole move to hide it from him because he's growing older. It's not like he can treat the kids much differently from one another now that they're grown. Oh, no, he can. If he has any money at all, he can leave it to one kid and not the others. I don't think I'm an asshole, but I'm curious what Reddit thinks. Edit ETA. Me and my wife are not Indian, so please stop with all the racist messages and comments about Indian culture. Well, I mean, they're assuming you're Indian because that's the main culture that does arranged marriages anymore. Why anybody would go for that, I don't know. I mean, it can work out, sure, if you're that type of person that familiarity breeds love. I know people like that, but oftentimes it does not. Well, Spite Western says, NTA, right there, your father showed why he was a good idea for you to yes, hide the pregnancy. Yes, exactly. He showed his colors, so you did the right thing. You did the right thing for your kids. And he is not arranging marriages for his children, by the way. He's trying to raise his kids without the toxic parts of the culture. Gone baby thoughts are your dad is the a-hole for somehow thinking his genes are so magical that your children are not his grandkids because they don't have them. Don't tell him. Yeah, this guy would not treat your kids right if they knew that the youngest one was actually biologically yours. And that makes him the a-hole, not you. Next, we have benign existence, and it says, I'm my cat's emotional support system too. He's not ESA or anything, just a regular silly little black cat. Those are the best cats. Yesterday, I was feeling pretty anxious and had racing heart rate while trying to sleep, so I went and grabbed him. We cuddled in his body, and his body warmth, his breathing rhythm, and his purring made me feel better. This morning, my upstairs neighbor dropped something heavy, and there was a loud bang. Little cat crawled into bed with me and hid under the blanket. He's an anxious boy, like he's diagnosed with it, and I'm not. I realized that we both turned to each other for reassurance. I feel so loved and privileged to be considered a safe place for this little creature, and I'm grateful in any way that he is a safe place for a large creature, such as myself. That's all. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. I can't have a cat. My husband's deathly allergic. Like he will go insane and probably die if we have a cat in the house again. So I guess we can get a dog because I handle the allergies. I'm allergic to dogs. I can handle the emergencies. He can't. Maybe we'll get a horse. One of the little horses. I don't want one of those. Those are bred to be crazy. Maybe a pig. Pigs are cute. Stop it. Evil buildings. Of course, we have to. I still don't know what to do with that. This is the. Oops. Stop. I did that wrong. I knew I did. Stop. I didn't stop when I told it to stop. All right, there we go. That looks pretty cool. This is the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building in Shinjuku, Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan. And I'm gonna sneeze, just so you know. Maybe not. My husband ruined a good sneeze last night. Don't you hate it when people ruin their sneezes? He started talking. It's like I am in the middle of sneezing here, sir. So, Comrade Sensei, perfect name for that particular post, as Gotham City Towers. Yeah, they could use that building in some movies. Back to reality. This is from Just No Mother-in-Law. Mill wouldn't give baby back and then cried. I literally can't stand my mother-in-law anymore, and I'm not sure I can get over this. For context, since the baby has been born 4 months, she has been entitled and made snarky comments. My husband told her she couldn't come to the hospital just after birth as we wanted it to be just us, and she hung up the phone after saying, well, hopefully I'll get to meet him before he starts school. I hate people like this. So passive aggressive and aggressive and stupid. Well, maybe you won't. Maybe you won't meet him before he starts school. How's that, lady? How would you like that? This was his first Christmas, and we were around relative's house. She was holding him and had been like 10 minutes. We'd been saying we were leaving soon and to get back to ours and relax. I went to take my son, and she pulled away and said, no, he wants to stay with me. I initially rolled my eyes and was like, haha, okay, give him to me, and she didn't. I said it again with increasing anger, and she tightened her grip. What the heck is wrong with this lady? This is not your kid, lady. My husband caught what was going on and asked her 3 times to stop and give me the baby. I finally shouted, give me my son now, and she did, but then started crying as she was only joking and didn't need to shout. If you're only joking, then you do it once. One time, haha, it's a joke, and then you give your daughter-in-law or kid back. I'm so pissed about it because Should not need to ask so much for my son back. Then the other relatives took her side. Why? What is wrong with people? Just because she played victim too and cried. I actually can't stand her, and now I just have so much resentment towards her. Husband spoke to her the next day, and she just doubled down and said she was just joking, and that because she's old, she can't change, and that's how she is. Like, what? She really begrudgingly said sorry to me, but it was the most crap apology ever. And I don't want to create an issue for my husband, dear, and try to move on at the moment. So I'm so angry I cannot stand her. I just need to rant here. Well, it sounds like your husband sticks up for you, so that's half the battle right there, or maybe even more. Mirkwood's Queen says, if it's not a joke, if you're not laughing. Exactly. It's not funny. That was not funny. Like, she laughed the first time. That should have been the end of it. She shouldn't have had to yell at you. Because by the time you do it like the third or fourth time, it's not a joke anymore. So don't act like it's a joke. Next, we have Petty Revenge, entitled, How I Stopped Someone from Giving My Number Out. Yep, one of those stories. This one's kind of short. I have had my current phone number for about 2 years, and for a while I would get phone calls and messages from all sorts of people asking for Tom. Despite all my efforts to tell Tom and his contacts that they have the wrong number, they wouldn't listen. Eventually, Tom started giving my number to real estate agents and other businesses to annoy me. At this point, I got sick of this BS, so the next time somebody called asking me for Tom, I would message in the back and tell them, hey, it's Tom. Sorry, I can't answer your call. I'm getting my butt wanged at a furry convention right now. It took me sending this message twice for me to get several missed phone calls from who I presume is Tom. Quite upset me. I never got anyone calling me looking for Tom again. A couple of years ago, my in-laws did not have my updated phone number because I had changed it. And they never call me anyway, so so my husband's birthday, everybody, group chat, everybody's happy birthday, Ken. We're riding in the car, I forget where we were going. It's probably going somewhere to stay for the weekend because we do that sometimes on birthdays. I get this text that says, I don't know, Ken, I don't know who you are, but happy birthday. Ray or Roy or something. I think it was Roy. Sorry, Roy. I'm sorry if you're out there, Roy. Really sorry about that. They're all old and they can't contacts. I did tell them when I did it, but nobody answered me. So Honeybee says, I had a similar situation with someone using my email. It's just my first and last name, but this woman in the US kept using my email for all sorts. Mostly shipping, which means I get all sorts of spam. So I started looking at canceling orders when they came through. Some of them I couldn't, but canceled 2 orders. One for a very expensive snowboard and one for a crazy expensive snowsuit. I just replied to the email to contact customer service. Once those 2 orders were canceled, I haven't had another misplaced email since. It's another one. All of a sudden, we started getting like Uber Eats delivered to our house and packages and stuff. The lady somehow up the street had our email address attached to her credit card. We kept getting her stuff. If I had to take something over to her, we're not mean. We didn't keep. I told my husband if she gets Applebee's one more time, I'm eating it. But she's, older. Her husband works out of town. So she's alone a lot. She works from home. So, she's getting stuff delivered to eat, and I don't blame her for that. I'd do the same thing if I was in that situation. But it was just funny. But I think she's since fixed it because I have not had anything from her in a while. Quite a while, actually. It was just funny. It was just like, really? Sorry, Linda doesn't live here. I can't remember her name. That's not her name. Takeover says I keep getting group texts about upcoming Little League baseball games. Twice I responded, "You got the wrong number. Please remove my number from your calling list." I was ignored. After a few more group chats, there was one where everyone was listing what they were bringing to the potluck. I responded with, "I guess I'll bring the cocaine and hookers." Never got another text from them. My husband just got a number that previously belonged to Colton. Guy just would not stop giving out his old number. It was annoying, but not intolerable until the collection starts calls coming. My husband had that situation. He just all of a sudden started getting collection calls. Had a new phone, same phone number. I don't get it. They refused to accept that my husband was not Colton. They finally stopped after he things like, "Well, come get the truck. You should have known better to loan me money." Shotgun Doug had a similar situation with email. Some guy in Oregon kept giving out my email. I would usually reply with a, "Hey, you got the wrong email. Please reach out and get the correct." This guy must be a high ranking member of his church because I started getting dozens of emails about a remodel on the church. They wouldn't listen. And I got fed up with it. So one time about pricing differences in product, I approved 50K more purchase, stopped getting emails after that. I guess the lesson here is if you're getting emails from someone, either cancel their stuff or approve way more than they would. Oh, I can't imagine the trouble he was in. That'd be hilarious. Can you imagine? Holden, what are you doing? How'd you approve this? We don't have that kind of money. Knee Deep in the Dead says, I would get this as well, except it was a woman. At least once a week I was getting texts and nobody would believe I wasn't her for some reason. After a year of telling them I'm not, I gave up. I started replying like normal, acting like Joanna or whatever her name was. Adding to gossip, spreading lies, talking crap about people, making plans, etc. Even had someone meet me up at Dunkin' Donuts and then told them I got an emergency case of explosive diarrhea. I believe that was the final strike and that finally got her to tell people in her life that she had a different phone number. Soft Detail says I kept getting faxes intended for the hospital at all hours. No one at the hospital seemed to care. It was two transposed digits, so not their problem. I take two pieces of black paper together in a loop on the fax machine and added with a label to please make the correct fax number on correspondence and let it rip over the weekend. Ended false alarms. That's cool. There's so many of these. I have to keep reading them. Really risk says, I had the same thing happen to me. A woman had been using my phone number for years. I live in Canada and she's in the US. A few months ago, I got a text with a link to an account with real estate agents. I clicked on the link and revoked the consent for them to contact my number and her email. Now she won't get anything from them. I may use your solution next time if it happens again. Fred Redfwog says, I got a new number about 6 years ago after needing to change it due to my ex constantly messaging and calling me. The number must have been originally belonged to a guy named Angelo who never changed it with clients or services. And I'm still getting calls and messaging for him 6 years after getting my number from the other side of Australia to me. So I ended up his calls and messages for emergency repairs all time of day and night, as well as messages for all his appointments. Always answered my phone with my name and business first, and yet I hear from the other end, hello, Angelo, because nobody listens. They know who they're calling, and they don't need to know that you're not Angelo. I also got fed up with that, so I received a call or message, for instance. I told them I would get there in 12 hours and the price for services would be over $1,500 for travel costs, as I would need to organize an emergency flight from the other side of Australia. Oh, that's $1,500. That's cheap. Girl. Guy. Sorry, guy. What are you doing? That's cheap. Also, any appointments that came through me, I would cancel them 24 hours before the appointment. It took 6 years of doing this, but he finally changed his number with his services and clients. So I don't get these calls much anymore. It was always fun, though. Specifically relative, I've been getting calls from collections looking for a crap head named Zachary. Last name sounds French, but I've only heard it once. The weird funny thing is that the claims are coming from well after I got my number, yet the dunces calling me claim they confirmed this number before giving out the loan. Well, after I got the number. So now I simply tell them to tell their bosses to grow a brain or call me themselves so I can tell them how incompetent they are. Uh, Jim G. Frazier says, years ago I was getting calls for a number that had transposed digits. Let's call the guy Bob. At first it was no big deal, but the calls became more frequent. I started actually telling people to call the right number. One night I actually called Bob and asked him to tell his friend to stop dialing the wrong number. He apologized. I guess maybe the guy's friends thought it was cute and I kept getting calls. I realized I was getting a lot of calls from a girl because I recognized her voice. It was getting aggravating. Finally, I got a call late one night from the girl asking for Bob. I said, "Oh, hang on, let me wake him up. He's right here." She screams, "What?" and starts going off. I calmly reply that Bob is not with me and I do not know how to reach him if I want to hook up. But I do know how to reach him if I want to hook up. That was the last of the calls. Their account says there's a guy from my hometown that uses my number when he makes donations or signs up for random prep, so he doesn't get the calls. He's been doing that since I was in high school. This guy hates you. Why does this guy hate you? The problem for him is I went to high school with his daughter, so at one point I got his number from her and just signed him up for every random thing I could. Why does that guy hate you? That's so wrong. What'd you do to him? Did you date his daughter? I bet you dated his daughter and he didn't like you, right? Because I would only do that to somebody I didn't like. Much development. Raul had been giving out my number for almost a decade. He's a real estate grifter, renting out commercial real estate in Salt Lake City. Properties that he doesn't own or manage. I get calls from people asking about tours and, more importantly, keys, with which they left him a healthy deposit. Finally, I got a call from a municipal court for missed appearance on multiple traffic tickets. They verified my home address, which I started providing all his victims. Suddenly, I wasn't getting any more calls. Hmm. Tokoa Puff says you probably stopped getting those calls because he got arrested. Mercury Queen, I get calls for Renee, who had my phone number 10 plus years ago. Yes, you read that right. I tried all these texts and finally looked them up on Google, where the ranch is now a development of cookie cutter homes. Sold out or died because I can't find any further reference to them. Finally, just had to answer any number I don't know with fraud department and nothing more. The number of calls I got has dropped significantly. There's a long one down here at the bottom. Someone used their phone number for their Delta account, so I get texts when they book a flight. They're currently in Boston, according to the last flight. I had a woman in Tahoe kept using my email. Every time she had a milestone, I was involuntarily involved. She bought a house and I was CC'd on the inspection paperwork. Wrote back that they had the wrong email address and the inspector promptly said thank you and removed me from further updates. She volunteered for an arts fair. The art fair lady was so nice about the error and said if I was in the area, I should come to the fair and say hello. That's nice. She had a child in pre-K would send photos of the kids playing with the parents. Well, parents' email in this case. I got updates. It took way longer than it should have for them to respond to my repeated messages that I'm a complete stranger who should not be receiving these messages and to please update their lists. Come to think of it, I had a hell of a time getting her daughter's soccer team list too. Off her daughter's soccer team list too. The stuff with the kids should have been the most urgency around it. Yeah, for no kidding. What finally solved it was her catering business, which had been using my email on her catering business contact us link since long before the kid and the art fair and the house. Every so often, if I hadn't received anything from her site, I'd get a text message just to see if maybe they caught the error. Just checking to see if you finally updated this email link kind of message. One day that link didn't end up in my inbox. Hooray! And then I got a new message from the Tahoe lady asking me what this message meant. I explained and really kept it friendly. Glad to see you finally updated. I tried so many messages to reach out to you I could think of. Best of luck. And she responded demanding I promptly forward her every message she missed and near a decade of having my email as a contact she had on her website added to her website. I said I won't be doing that and stopped all communication. Says, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. That is your error, not mine. Error on your part does not necessitate an emergency or work on mine. Sorry. Jerk, and it's entitled AITJ for handing HR the screenshots that got my coworker fired. No. I, 32 male, work as a mid-level ops manager at a logistics company. Nothing fancy, mostly spreadsheets, vendors, and trying to keep the warehouse from turning into chaos. We had an internal opening for a team lead role, and my coworker Dylan, late 20s, I don't know, has been loudly complaining about it for months. He's the kind of guy who talks about ownership and visibility a lot. He's also in the comments on Teams acting like he's the only adult in the room. Oh, that's annoying. It's got to be annoying. 2 weeks ago, I had a pretty ugly shipping mess. A vendor missed a pickup when we got hit the last when then we got hit with a last minute order that needed to go out the same day. I stayed late, called around, moved staff, fixed it. And annoying but solved. The next morning my director calls me in and says my weekly report shows I approved overtime shift that I wasn't authorized to approve, and then I also marked the vendor as confirmed when they weren't. Basically, it looked like I caused the whole thing. I pulled up the report and the numbers were changed, like literally edited. We used a shared template, but we each have our own tab. Somehow my tab had notes added that I never wrote, and a couple of fields were altered. I checked the version history and saw edits from Dylan's account at 11:47 p.m. the night I stayed late. He was not on shift. He also messaged me earlier that night that said, "Hey, if you need help with the report, just ping me." I didn't respond because I was busy. I confronted him privately. He acted shocked and said he must have clicked the wrong tab while trying to help and that he didn't realize it would lock in. But the edits are very specific and they just happen to make me look incompetent and him look like a savior because his tab had no like flagged risk to leadership in it. Also, he never told me he touched my stuff. He only apologized after I showed him the history, and even then it was a half apology like, sorry you feel blindsided. This guy is after your job, honey. He is after your job. That's very tall. Ooh, okay. I feel sick about it. My director told me it was going on my record unless I could explain it, so I exported the version history, saved screenshots of Dylan's edits, and then sent a short email to HR and my director saying I believe my work was altered without permission and I wanted it documented. I didn't ask for him to be fired. I just wanted my name cleared. HR interviewed both of us, and apparently the other people had similar issues with him fixing their work. He got terminated last Friday. Since then, half the team is acting like I snitched and ruined his life. One guy told me you should have handled it like a man, not run to HR. Dylan texted me from a new number saying I'm a bitter loser who couldn't compete fairly. Oh, that sounds like projection to me. Now I'm sitting here thinking, did I overreact? Should I have just taken the hit and moved on? No, absolutely not. That is how these people get ahead, by doing crap like this. No, no, you are not the jerk. You are perfectly in line. You did exactly what you should have done. You did exactly what all those other people should have done. If he's doing it to other people in HR, not because you're not a man, stupid. Sending good thought says, OP comment, I didn't demand he get fired. I was about to get written up for something I didn't do. So I protected myself. Oh, this is the OP. If he didn't, if he did it to others, that's on him. Exactly. Daisy Iris is the top voted comment. NTJ, good riddance. Coworker deliberately threw you under the bus, ignored the drama queens. You had no choice but to defend yourself. Well done. Yep, exactly. If somebody gets fired because they were referred to HR for something they did wrong, that's on them. That's on them. I was reported to a lot to HR, and I didn't get fired. Why? Because he didn't do anything wrong. Okay, this is from Expectation versus Reality. It's Mom's Penguin Christmas Cookies. And there's only one picture. There's only one pick, which is unusual. Usually we have a reveal, but these are, this is what they're supposed to look like from the cookbook, and that's what they look like. And they're so cute. Oh my goodness, I love it. It's so adorable. I happened to stop near the end of the process. I assisted with M&M color sorting, and I'm responsible for design of the one that's goofy. Oh, this one. That's Marianne. That's our Marianne cookie right there. He's cute. Oh, Claire who says, I think the eyes on her, bigger eyes on there makes him so much cuter. The original one has a little shell shocked. Yeah, I think they're actually cuter than the original. Excellent. Excitement Glad says, yeah, they look like they've seen some crap. Well, that says moms are way better. And here's the close up of um the one that had. Look at him. How cute is he? This would be my work. One time I think I want to do a something, make something with maybe my best friend and my daughter also make it. My daughter's an extremely good artist, and see how bad mine is compared to theirs. Because I can't draw a straight line to save my life. I think it would be really funny. Cage match. Cage match. All right. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Also, please leave a comment either in the chat or in the comments. YouTube apparently likes that. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually about noon Eastern time. Tell your friend, your family, and your enemies because they need lessons in how to behave, and we do that. Really, it's not about the Reddit reads, and it's not about the reality TV. It's just about the community. We're about the community. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email entitled submission. If you would like an email link to the day's current lives, send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com, and the email address is also in the description. All right, now we have our real estate, which is one of my favorites. And this is entitled Palm Springs Prismatic. So this is in Palm Springs. We have 37 photos. One. And it is basically $2 million. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,760 square feet. $2 million. That does not look like a $2 million house to me. That is a vintage car, though. Does the car come with the house? Because that might be a $2 million car. P.S. Smile. Interesting furniture. Does the furniture stay? Wow, that is crazy. Okay, scuba guy, why? Like, why? So weird. I like the astronaut one, though. And the astronaut king. They need a soldier and a spy. What is it? Soldier poets. They need a poet and a soldier. All of this is like vintage, man. Vintage looking furniture. Right out of the 50s. Futuristic 50s. I don't know about that blue. And it looks like it's tile, so not easy to fix. Oh, that is really bright. It's really bright. Why do we get taking pictures of scuba guy? Let's move on. Okay, we've seen this place enough. There we go. Even the headboards, it's screaming psychedelic. Goodness, this place is wild. It's very clean, which is nice, but whoa. I have an aversion to black bathrooms. Personal experiences are not good. Ever since college, it was bad. This is some weird stuff. I love the view's not I mean, it's very close to the mountain, but it's not the worst thing. What is what kind of fixture is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, in a bathroom, no less. Like, what the heck? Pool area. Still, I mean, at least they got it themed. They got it themed real good. I wonder what that sign says. Are they gonna show us? Do you think they'll show us? I doubt it. You can even see the PS smile through the window. Nice, nice touch. I do like the colorful little fire pit there. That's kind of cool. Oh, another bedroom. You did say there were 3 bedrooms. I just going with that psychedelic theme again. Those look like kid chairs. Wait, there's another bedroom? I thought it said 3 bedrooms, not 5. Okay. Here's the floor plan. And probably one of the bonus rooms, probably one of the bedrooms. There's 2 bonus rooms, so that accounts for the extra bedrooms. Dining room, living room, kitchen, bedroom. Master bath does not have a bathtub. Oh, they don't have bathtub. I I mean, you can live without bathtubs, I promise. So yeah. Oh, I forgot I'm gonna do this. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,760 square feet. Oh, it's by a renowned architect William Crisell. Crisell, Krisel. Known for his iconic butterfly roof designs, and was and did more of them than any other architect. It's a very interesting house. It was very interesting. Oh, they're leaving that little barbecue. That's cute. Has a fireplace. Central heating, central air. Doesn't say what, how. The description is listed as mountains and pool. Built in 1958. Told you it was 50s. Called it. I know my architecture. I took a whole class on it in college. All right. Um, Actually, I took more than one architecture class in college. One was for architectural history, one was for design history. I do have a history degree. All right, we have Traumatized Them Back, and it's entitled Watching Someone Burst into Tears is Traumatizing, right? Can be, depends on what it is. This happened a few days ago, and everything still feels like a raw hemorrhaging wound. So I guess this is a vent as much as anything else. My cat died on Friday. I'm sorry, OP. I'm sorry for your cute cat. A painful decision, but she was old and clearly suffering. My husband thought that trying to pursue some sense of routine afterwards might help. So we still went grocery shopping over the weekend, as opposed to asking sympathetic friends or family to do the pickups for us while we both wallowed in how wrong everything feels without her. So I'm in the grocery store with a loaf of bread in one hand and the other swiping around the back of the shelf because I need cosmic brownies to eat my feelings, and it was starting to look like there weren't any left. I saw a lady approaching with her shopping cart. So I took a step back and apologized for being in the way. Now, I live in a town where people are really good at minding their own damn business, and I was caught off guard when this lady looked at me and said, "It can't be that bad." Never ever say this to anyone. It will not go well for you, most likely. Like, what if it had been her parent that died? Is it not that bad? It is, because I know how I would be if my parent died. So I kind of stared at her blankly, and she goes on, "You need to cheer up. It's almost Christmas. You should be getting in the spirit of the holiday instead of moping around. People, mind your own business." I wish I thought of this up and said something snarky or rattled off the things that my cat had been through with me. Instead, I blunt force traumas with the realization that she wouldn't be around for Christmas. Oh, like I was distantly aware of the upcoming holiday, but I didn't really grasp the reality of it until this lady threw it in my face. Anyways, I started crying, the high pitched, whining kind that has hiccups and gross wet sniffles. Good for you. Good for you, girl. I was so too upset to be mortified at committing such a. The lady must have also been horrified because I heard her stammer something and apologize before she disappeared. That's where my husband found me, still blubbering in the snack aisle like a lost child. 0 10, awful experience. Do not recommend. Oh, X. Waiting for it to show up. I don't know why it's being so slow. I am plugged in, right? Doesn't say it's charging. Am I not plugged in? I have plenty of juice though. It's not showing up for me. I don't know why. Let's try it again. I did it from a different link. Oh, the cat's not showing up. Why is it taking so dang long? Jenny Pooh says the audacity of policing strangers' emotions in the bread aisle is honestly impressive in the worst way. Can I just have the picture, please? There's no picture showing up. Meglet says, in my opinion, the bread aisle is where emotions belong in a grocery store, second only to ice cream freezers. Oh, it wasn't not showing up on Imager either. Yeah, it's not showing up. Sorry, I don't have a picture of the key cat. Poor girl. Yeah, my husband came home one day from work and he looked at me and he says, "You look like your dog died." I had burst into tears and said, "My dog did die." He apologized. He's okay most of the time. Next, we have confession entitled, "I was expecting his body count to be high, but not that high." Let me preface this by saying I'm not upset, I'm just shocked, really. I'm confessing here rather than telling him and having it come across as me being upset. I, female 29, got curious and asked my boyfriend, male 38. Oh, he's a lot older than you, girl. What his body count was. I genuinely expect to be somewhere near 80. 80? People sleep with that many people? Doesn't seem safe. Or so based on some of my male friends' own experiences, they've told me. Yeah, they're exaggerating. There ain't no way. For instance, my boyfriend has been single or in short-term relationships the majority of his life, and he's well over 6 feet tall, fit and attractive, and has great social skills, confidence. I'm sure it's been very easy for him to pull women into his condo, what he has going on. He admitted that was somewhere between 130 and 140. I'm not sure what's normal for other men like him who's got it all going on, but I was just shocked, is all. We're fine. I'm not worried about it, and I didn't ask questions any further. I'm letting Reddit know that all of my flappers were gasted. Moore says, so 80 is normal and 130 is not? Haha. Someone said none of these numbers are real. Morningwood says, that's a perfect person to be commenting on this. Your male friends had sex with near 80 people? Damn. Almond Milk Maybe says, this may be a weird take, but what's the difference, practically speaking, between 80 and 140? In my opinion, once you're over a lot, you're over a lot. So whatever data the number conveys to you doesn't really change that much. Actually, if you think about it, he's lower than her friends because she's 30 and they've had 80, and he's, well, I mean, she's less than 30 and they've had 80. So if you double 80, that's 160. And he's only at 140 at 38. So he does not have all that going on. I'm 43, my body count is 2. Older, but same. Capia says, people on this thread are talking about getting Tinder matches weekly, and I'm wondering how wanging ugly I am that I only get 2 months, 5 at 35. It doesn't help that I'm short, but damn. Lol. Successful Coconut says, average person like 5 to 15, but you really like him, so why not let it change anyway? Because these guys, it's only 5 to 15 because those guys are off the charts. Be much lower if everybody had 5 to 15, because it would really be like 2 or 3. Interesting AF. It's called Rare Footage of a Live Giant Squid Caught Feeding on a Diamondback Squid. That's interesting. That is interesting. Okay. If you're squeamish, you might want to look away on this one. You ready? I don't know tell what's going on. Oh, they looking at one for using one for bait. Squids are weird. They are weird, weird creatures. Or octopi. Can't really tell that. There he goes. He's off. Stop it. I had very good dad. Oh, there we go. I make it bigger so we all can see. Sarah McAttack says, hi, everyone. Squid biologist here. Wanted to add some stuff you might find interesting. So, with so many people carrying around cameras, we're getting more videos of giant squid at the surface than in previous decades. We're also starting to notice a pattern that around this time of year, peaking in January, we see a bunch of giant squid around Japan. We don't know why this is happening. Maybe they gather around there to mate or something. Who knows? But since so many people have cameras, those one off monster story encounters are now caught on video, like this one, which, by the way, rips. The squid looks so healthy. It's awesome. We see big, giant, or colossal healthy squid like this. It's often because a fisher has caught something else, either another squid or sometimes an Arctic toothfish. The squid is attracted to whatever was caught, and they hop on the hook and go along for the ride when this target species is reeled in. There are a few colossal squid sightings similar to this one from the Southern Ocean, but fewer people are down there, so fewer cameras, fewer videos. On the original Instagram video, a bunch of people were like, put him back, release him, etc., but he's just enjoying dinner. Obviously, the squid swims away at the end. Okay, that's all. Bye. Thank you, Sarah. That was very interesting. I appreciate it. We need more squid biologists because they clearly don't know enough about squids if the squid biologist doesn't even know what's going on. All right, this is from Am I the A-hole? AITA for refusing to drive my husband home from his colonoscopy. I mean, possibly. We'll see. I need some outside perspective. My husband went to doc back in September. He needs a colonoscopy. I reminded him in October. In November, he had yet to schedule. I reminded him again and told him try not to schedule it before the end of the year because try to schedule it before the end of the year because we hit all insurance and it's basically free. There is a point to that. He told me he scheduled it for the 19th. We're supposed to be in NE, I think that's New England, for the holidays. He said then we needed to wait until after his colonoscopy and would drive there, which means I would be driving 7+ hours by myself in the late afternoon and evening. I don't do well at night, and I could do it if in the morning. So go the next day. It's not that big a deal. I told him to RS reschedule. I told him to reschedule after the first. It's like a link, so it's hard for me to figure out what that was supposed to do. I told him to reschedule after the first of the year. He said no to help save money. Then he rescheduled to next Wednesday, the 17th, and said he needed to pick me up at 12:30. I told him I can't do that because of my job. I'm a teacher and it's one of the busiest times a year. He said I'm being rigid and not flexible and selfish, and also that I don't care about him. I always took the day off when my husband had a colonoscopy, and he always takes the day off when I have one. It's just what you do. I explained that I can't just leave my classes for 30 minutes, especially at the lunch hour. Plus, he's going, well, you could, especially at the lunch hour. Plus, he's going to go under general anesthesia. He needs somebody to be with him. Also, what if it takes longer than 30 minutes? He said you would figure it out. If it was an emergency, this is not an emergency. I told him I can't leave that day because I have parents coming in to help with a big project, a party I'm leading, and a parent conference after school. All this was scheduled before his colonoscopy, which he did not check my schedule. Well, I mean, there's that. He said that's because I can't talk on the phone. He mentioned he could do it when I get home. He says they are closed. I get home most days at 3:30. He told me to figure it out because he would do it for me. I told him I wouldn't have given him a week's notice to figure it out for something that's going to require me to take a day off of work. It's not on me if he waited until the last minute to get it scheduled. Don't you have friends? Can somebody else not pick him up and take him home? If it's only going to be half an hour. I told him to reschedule for the first of the year and didn't care if we have to pay more because at this point in time, there's a lot of options with the holidays. He said no. Figure it out. I said no. And he says I'm crap because family first, and now he isn't talking to me. I guess he should have left it for the 19th, and then you could have driven the next day. It's like the day after colonoscopy, you're fine. You're fine. Usually the later in the day, you're fine. Why is he going on general anesthetic? Anyway, most people don't have to do that unless there's an absolute reason. All of this could have been avoided. What he really should have done is schedule it either the day before or the day after Thanksgiving, because those 2 days teachers typically have off anyway. All right, saying she's not the asshole. Honestly, they both suck, if you ask me. It's always more than 30 minutes. It is. Always. Because you go in, you got pre-op. Pre-op, it's not an operation procedure. Um, you do the procedure. The procedure is really fast, usually, especially if there's nothing going on. It's really fast. And then you got the post-op, where the recovery area, which that can take a while, and you're kinda groggy and stuff, especially if they put you under. Um, but you're also really hungry, like, really hungry. But seriously, why couldn't they have done it on the 19th and then left on the 20th? He would have been fine on the 20th. I don't know. I would like an update. Is there an update? There's not an update. No update. I think they both kinda suck a little bit, both of them. I get her point. At the same time, she coulda they could've just waited till the 20th. It's not that big a deal if they're driving. It's not that big a deal. Next, we have Overheard, entitled, "I haven't been to any gay bars around here." Gay man number 1, we'll call him. Gay man number 2, "I'm in men's course and we go to this gay bar every Tuesday. Then I found out that the gay running the group also meets there, and that's why it always smells like balls." Number 1. So, I'm gonna have to start over. Oh, sorry. Gay man number 1, "I haven't been to any gay bars around here." Gay man number 2, "I'm in a men's course and we go to this gay bar every Tuesday. Then I found out that the gay running club also meets there, and that's why it always smells like balls." And gay man number 1 says, "Some places charge extra for that." Do they? I don't know. I'm not gay, so I don't know. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh, that was really funny. The last comment is, "I told my husband this is a perfect subreddit for him. He's constantly telling me about overheard conversations." Have your husband join us. This is from True Off My Chest. "My boyfriend's dad just changed my windshield wipers without saying a dang thing. They were on my list to replace, but I can't afford them right now because I'm about to graduate college and I'm just really broke." I understand being broke for college. "I'm staying with my boyfriend for the night at his parents' house. We were only in our early 20s, and his dad went out wordlessly this morning, and when he came back, he asked what year my car was, so I told him and asked why. He said it was in really good condition for an old car. It's not." Then he went to the store, got windshield wipers, and replaced them without saying anything. That green signs, green flags for that family. The whole family. I literally sobbed. My own father wouldn't even do that. "I'm just in the bathroom now in awe, and I don't even know how to feel. It's like one of the nicest things anyone's ever done for me. I just had to put it somewhere." Green flags, keep that guy. If that guy's anything like his dad, keep him. He's a keeper. Rapid Koala says, "Most people who do kind things like this don't get seen. I imagine that simple thank you, I saw what you did for me, would make father-in-law happy. On a side note, I would just mention to your boyfriend how grateful you are that he is a father so kind. Positive reinforcement behavior goes miles." Grimlight says, "OP's boyfriend definitely lucked out on having a dad like that. Wholesome dude energy right there." Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's very sweet. Now we have What Do I Do? "Was talking to this girl I've known for years, supposed to go on a first date Friday." Okay, there's I guess a text message, I'm guessing. Hey, I just want to be honest with you because you've been nothing but sweet and I appreciate that, but I thought I was ready to start something new, but I've realized I'm still working through things emotionally, and I don't want to go into anything when I'm not fully there. You honestly seem like a kind of person I'd want to get to know more, but when I'm in a better place, but right now it wouldn't be fair to us either of us. I hope this makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense. No stable says if you're asking what to do, accept this and move on from it. Yep. We're Mr. Hyderager. Emphasis on the move on part. There's part of that reads like maybe things could happen later. Erase that notion from your mind. Holding on to hope here will only cause strife. Yeah. You move on for it. If she comes to you later on and you're available, that's fine. The old saying is there are other fish in the sea is true. There is not just one to one. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a silly notion. Yeah. Just accept what she said, go on. If she circles back sometime and you're available, maybe then will be the time, but now is not the time. At least not for her. Oh no. It's mildly infuriating. Oops, what am I doing? That's not good. It's entitled, I forgot I had a packet of butter in my pocket, so when I left work, I reached for my keys and this was the result. Oh my goodness, you poor thing. So anyway, this is a reminder to check your pockets for stray condiments or you may end up in a slippery situation as well. Sandman says, packet of butter, why now? Um, have you never been, sir, have you never been, had pancakes takeout for breakfast? Have you never been to KFC? You can have a packet of butter in your pocket. It's very, not a wholly unusual thing. Casual Hex says, oh no, my pocket butter is always a mess too. If there was only a better way. A butter way. A butter way. They didn't say it right. Abigail Normal says a butter way. She is Abby Normal, by the way. I love her name. And if you don't know that, you need to go watch Bride of Frankenstein. It's awesome. Butter in your pocket? Why? Okay, here we go. OP says my intention was to butter my bagel after I'd taken it up to my office from the cafeteria, so I grabbed a few butter packets. I must have missed one digging into my pocket, which is kind of funny because I was thinking, I didn't need all that butter anyway. Regis Sunshine says, honestly, my first thought was wait staff. I used to forget about butter and jelly in my apron pockets all the time, only to realize that when I reach my hand in to find carnage. So, yeah, don't put butter in your pockets, people. It's not a good thing. Or any other thing, really. I mean, that could happen with all kinds of stuff. Next, we have Emma overreacting, and it's entitled AIO. Brought cheese slices with me to McDonald's to put on burgers. Had a fight with a friend. Why would you do that? Just get the cheeseburger. Seriously. Cheap ass. Friend was hanging around at my home. We decided to get McDonald's, but in Australia it's expensive and I don't believe in spending $16 for a meal, especially when I'm going to get hungry 15 minutes later. Then you're not eating the right meal, sir. Oh, anyway, a hamburger is $2 and a cheeseburger is 5.30. Okay, that doesn't sound right. Sometimes when I go to McDonald's, I just get a hamburger and put my own sliced cheese on it and make it a cheeseburger. I went to McDonald's and I did just that. I brought 2 cheese packet slices and I got 2 hamburgers for $4 and put the slices in. Keep in mind we did drive through, so no one was watching us, just the 2 in the car. Well, thank goodness you weren't in the restaurant. My friend says she's embarrassed for me and said I ain't paying $11 for 2 cheeseburgers when I just paid $4, brought my own cheese. She said if I do anything cheap again in public, she will be more embarrassed and will walk out in front of me. She was actually serious. I mean, there are times. Everybody's got their breaking point. Then I said, your top is from Shein or Temu. I don't don't think you can speak. The little passive aggressive argument went on, and I finally said, "What's your wanging problem? What I'm doing is not that serious. I just brought my own cheese to save money. Not that big a deal, and no one is watching. I feel sorry for you that you feel you need to impress strangers at McDonald's." It was an awkward drive back home. Then she left my house, and we didn't contact each other again. Edit. Sorry, I didn't think this would blow up. To answer some questions, it was those cheese packet slices individually wrapped you get at supermarkets for like 4 for a pack of 24. I did tell her I was doing it before we left. I just put those slices in my pocket. McDonald's was a 55-minute drive. Oh, not even long enough to warm up the cheese, man. What are you doing? Yes, you can check Australian hamburger versus cheeseburger prices. A hamburger is $2 and cheeseburger is 5.50, but it can vary from store to store. One store selling it for like 5.50. To be honest, even if we're dining in, I still would have put it on. No one is going to care, and I highly doubt anyone is going to see. If they do see, they can judge all they want. Actually, they might care. In the US, you can't do that stuff like that a lot of times. Depends on the restaurant, but a lot of times they frown on you bringing your own food in. They are there to make money, sir. My friend is not rich or broke, but she's also not the smartest person financially. I myself ain't cheap per se in the sense that I will try to pinch anything. Oh, are you sure about that, sir? You bring your own cheese to McDonald's. I honestly don't see the point of paying 5.50 for a cheeseburger, which feeds a 3-year-old, when I can just bring my own and pay $2 for 2 cheeseburgers. I can get 5 hamburgers and just bring 5 cheese slices. I mean, do I want 5 burgers or 2 burgers or 5 burgers for the same price? Also, the cheese I got tastes way better than McDonald's cheese, in my opinion. It has it's cheese taste. We went to McDonald's because it's 11:30 p.m. and nothing is really open except for expensive food truck places. And the burgers alone, not a meal, can easily be $17+ for one burger. That is true. After tonight, I don't think I want to contact her. She showed her through colors. Enough Passage says she's embarrassed because McDonald's is such a luxe establishment where society's finest gather to dine. And Kex on, Kex off says, in the drive-through, they didn't even do it at the restaurant. Yeah. Oh, I'd give somebody shit for it. I wouldn't care. It wouldn't be that important to me, but I would definitely call you a cheap ass. I wonder what the difference is. I can get a whole cheeseburger meal for like $8. Two cheeseburger meal. Cheeseburgers, medium fry, medium drink. I'm looking it up. Oh, yeah. We said the wrong one. I'm so old. I'm an old person. And it always does that. It like opens it and then it closes it and goes to the home screen every time I open the McDonald's app. But it's there. um, Burgers. We're gonna see what a cheeseburger versus a hamburger is. Just go to burgers. Come on. Stop messing around with me. Oh, I gotta choose pickup or delivery. And then I gotta choose the restaurant. Okay. Cheeseburger is $1.99 and a hamburger is $1.89. It's 10 cents difference. Okay, so there is a thing. This is from Australia. Australians are getting ripped off, saying. So the cheeseburger is $5.20 and the hamburger is $2. Why? You're paying $3.20 for a half a slice. It's a half a slice. You guys know that, right? A half a slice of cheese. That's insanity. What kind of cheese do they have in Australia? Is McDonald's using in Australia? I want to know. They are being ripped off. I'm telling you right now. Next, we have Server Life. Of course, there is a picture. Oops. I started opening them in a different window so I can read the original one. Now it says, here's your tip. You're not pretty enough for that personality. Be more thankful I complimented. Well, that's rude and passive aggressive. Point of view, you tell a 35-plus-year-old man you don't want to give out your phone number. I'm 19. No, you shouldn't, sir, you should not be asking young women for their phone numbers when they're at work. Boring Bob says, my God, that's the result of some terrible parenting right there. He has about as much humility as he does education. Particular skirt says, I don't know, man, I'm 35 and had pretty crappy parenting and wouldn't do this. It sounds to me like crappy ego thing. Yeah, this is an ego thing. It reflects badly on his parents, but sometimes you can't help it. This dude can't spell. He's going around asking young girls for their number and then telling them they're not pretty. I doubt this dude could even count up to his own age. Oh. Sacktown says, I never got this. Dude asks a girl out because he's attracted to her. Girl says, no, thank you. He's meanly and unnecessarily tells her she's not attractive. Wait, what? Yeah, he tried to get with her and then he tells her she's not attractive. Like, BS. You not know what's wrong with men. All right, best of Redditor updates. This one is entitled, Boyfriend 23 male has implied that he'd leave me 22 female if I wouldn't stop playing my PS4. Interesting. I know this isn't your normal question. Oh, it was originally posted. They even say where it was originally posted? Hold on, I'll find out. Oh, in our relationships. Okay. Originally posted in the relationship subreddit. I know this isn't your normal question, but it's doing my head in, and I'm not trolling, I swear. I'm from the UK. I have a very, very good job for someone my age. That means it can be very stressful. When I come home, I like to wound down and maybe play an hour or two on my PS4. My favorite game is Fallout 4, and I play it maybe 2 or 3 times a week. My boyfriend adored like to. My boyfriend's idea of winding down after work. I happily, obviously, so do. I happily go, obviously, to socialize, but I'm already done with the stage of life where I want to go out and get drunk now. But I do enjoy a drink. Sorry. But this morning he invited me out to drinks, and absolutely, I've been absolutely shattered this week and haven't once looked at my PS4. I honestly just want to sleep tonight. He immediately jumped on the offense and said, you're more invested in that PS4 than me. All you ever do is sit and play, which isn't true. We've had an amazingly regular, life, a great circle of friends, and I make sure communication is a thing, and we are honest with each other. And we have been together for almost a year, and it's coming close to our anniversary. Are you already living together? You haven't even been together a year. I told him that wasn't true, and I often offer him to play it or with me, and let him have free reign use of it. He can use it more than me sometimes. And has said, well, it isn't ladylike for girls to be playing. You're far too old to be playing it anymore. Dude, that's her hobby. That is very sexist. It may sound silly, but it kind of stung. I love playing games since I was little. We argue over it, and he basically said I need to get a grip and that he's had enough and started shouting and mocking me for it, then threatened to leave. I'm honestly not trolling, I'm just stunned. He didn't even come home after work straight out to our friends. You haven't even been with this man a year and you're living with him? What's wrong with you? Hi, relative comments or Hydrocon says, yeah, he's an a-hole. I gave him way more than that, and my fiance is fine with it. We both prefer chilling out at home rather than going out to unwind after a long day, though. Your boyfriend sounds like a jerk and is trying to manipulate me. If it was me, I'd leave him if he didn't apologize and ever said anything like that again. OOP says, funny enough, he just texted me saying he's sorry, but you need a dose of the truth. So he's basically saying sorry, not sorry to me. I'm amazed how much of a dick he's being. I definitely considered ending things. I'm trying to make a rational decision as I'm still a little bewildered by it. Run. Run as fast as you can. This is only going to get worse. A deleted user says, you're playing excessively and it's encroaching on our couple time equals reasonable complaint. You shouldn't be playing because you're a girl equals unreasonable complaint. Also sexist. He's a douche and you doing about is he a douche about you doing any other unladylike activities? Uh, and yields a maximum anger dump. Update the next day. We made up. Girl. Not. Oh, thank God. I don't read ahead. He came home drunk at like 4 a.m. and I had a few things gathered together as I decided I'm going to be staying at my parents' for a while to sort things out like rent, etc. Before I left for my parents, he apologized in the morning, like 10 a.m. Took the day off of work because of it. No, he took the day off work because he's hungover. He didn't care about you, girl. But didn't apologize for calling me out on my addiction and just telling me to quit my boy habits. God, ugh, makes me so mad. I was baffled and I asked what is it he wants from this relationship because I was under the impression he wanted me to break up with him. And he said for me to listen to him and basically do what he says. Wow. So I told him I am listening to him and I didn't like what I was listening to. So I told him he was being a sexist pig, make points of saying how often I play my PS4 and that he can use it more than me. Then round it up by telling him to go weighing himself and that we're done. Not the most gracious thing to do, but got the message crossed. I'm sitting in my old bathroom receiving mixed message from between. Hi, baby, please come back and stop being such a bitch. You get the point, Reddit. I don't need that, nor deserve it. Exactly. I'm a mixture of emotions, but hey, at least I can romance McCready and Danes on Fallout 4. Haha. Good. Thank goodness. Damp Blanket says your addiction to playing games a few hours a week is destroying us. Well, off to the pub to drink like I do every day. Bye. Captain Horny 2 says playing games and drinking are for boys. Girls, do makeup and talk about babies is strange. Thank goodness. Okay, and we have made me smile because that's what we do. Eight-year-old beat cancer and attended her first NFL game. Good for her. I'm so happy for her. The cancer sucks. No way. The sign kind of reads as if NFL games are cancer. It made me check the subreddit. I was supposed to do. She beat cancer and then she beat her first NFL game. That was mine. Oh, I didn't read that. Ooh, there's an update. Oh, hang on. Her family got roughed up and pelted by snowballs? What? She was subbed out of her seat and down the stairs in Highmark Stadium. They had drunk Bills fan during the third quarter of Sunday night's game. Although she's not physically hurt, they decided to leave the game after the altercation. Of course they did. The family did not file a report. Like, why are you getting drunk at a football game? Why? You're at a football game to enjoy the game, not to drink. So when she was in the hospital, her dad and her watched football together. That was their bonding time. So this was really, really important to her. She has battled and beat liver cancer twice. Go girl. And now she helps raise money for other child cancer victims. She sounds like a really good girl. The Bills are known for their rabid fandom and their bare-chested table palming. Yeah, they just sound like jerks to me. That's really sad. She looks happy there. I hope that was before the game. All right, that's all I got today. I'll be back tomorrow. I know I said I was going to flake out on you. And I'm sorry I did flake out on you on Sunday, but I just need a day off. My back is hurting. Sunday night is when my back started hurting, though. I'm tired. I haven't been sleeping well. No, I don't know why. Just annoying. It's just annoying. Super annoying. So, hopefully Sister Wise will end soon. I had another episode yesterday, so I'm waiting until they stop having episodes, and then I'll deal with that. I promise. All the other ones have ended, so there won't be any reality TV until I know that Sister Wives is done. I might do one because I think one of them I have on there isn't an. I'll have to check. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. But you all have a good day. I'm gonna go try and get some stuff done. Love you all. Love you all, my biddies. Bye. Bye. Love you.